All you have to do is close your eyes and listen.
Welcome to episode 18 of TSGG Chat. I'm your host, Kevin Bork. We've got a great show this week. We're talking about Ni No Kuni 2, Spiderman from Marvel, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, a little bit of news, maybe some other things.
That's very descriptive, Kev. Appreciate that.
But first, head over to tsgg.online and sign up for our weekly newsletter. It's completely free, and it comes with a welcome gift for becoming a member. Also, follow us on Twitter at TheSocialGG and watch our YouTube videos at youtube.com/thesociety. When you do, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We would like you to consider going over to patreon.com/TSGG to see the many subscription levels that we offer. For only $1 a month, you will get early access to almost all of the podcasts and videos we offer for free on services like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, YouTube, Spotify, and others. Why wait longer when it's only $1? Now let's meet the panel and get the show started. This week...
You really missed an opportunity to say on the road right there.
What?
Should have said get the show on the road. It was a perfect opportunity.
No,
Guys,
I'm not going to do that.
It's 3 a.m. We apologize.
We
for what's
apologize
happening.
again. So it's introduction time. This week, we've got Jake.
Hey,
I forgot we had to reintroduce him because he's been gone for weeks.
Welcome back, Jake.
This is
Forever.
Jake. He's new.
We've got
The new guy.
the brothers Shippy,
Brother Shippy.
He created that last
Brett,
week.
and Brennan.
oh, I
Then
love
Brennon
it.
gave him an idea that it was the Brothers Grimm, and now it's just stuck.
Now it's stuck.
It was
Say hello.
It was a mistake then.
Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been speaking a lot. The whole
Yeah, well,
time.
he's not speaking over
I
there.
refuse to acknowledge anything by that title.
Fine, I won't use it anymore.
That's a lie.
You
Lizard
refer
King.
to me as King, Your Majesty, Your Scaliness, and that is all.
Lizard King Brennan is here.
Editor-in-chief, Viceroy.
No,
And,
it's
of
erased.
course,
It's now
my-
I
Myself.
really like your Scaliness, honestly.
Your scaliness. I registered.
And finally, myself, the reigning champion of
Oh,
TSGG.
God.
All right, boys, where would you
Actually,
like
we did a
to
new
start
group
this
play,
week?
so- Oh, you're still champion in that one. God,
That's right.
that's unfortunate.
To be fair, that was a team one, so it doesn't really count as...
No,
Or
that
just
wasn't
now
a
you
team
have
one.
to say it.
Oh, what? I'm reigning champion?
Yes.
No, because
No, he's not.
teams don't
Teams
count.
don't count.
Oh, okay.
It's
So,
the
yeah.
singular title.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was gonna. I
There's
was
no
gonna do
tag team
reigning
championship.
Because I
champion
won
like
that too,
Hulk
so
Hogan.
it's like-
You
That's
know?
why I said you're still champion in that one, even though
To be fair, really, Brett lost that.
He did.
That's what happened.
I threw.
You
just
guys
need
want to
Jake
start
to
with
feel
some
love.
news real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the news is.
I know.
Just
What's the new
a couple
news?
things that have happened since last episode. The Witcher Netflix series has casted Geralt of Rivia, and that casting will be
Say his name.
Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
Superman.
Shotgun arms
Great
himself.
casting.
Superman himself.
He's going to get it in this show.
Hope he shows up jacked. Hope he's the most jacked hero.
He
we've ever
can't
seen.
I mean,
not
to
be
be fair,
He's humongous.
I was gonna say he's pretty jacked as is.
Yes.
They tried to
I better nail
tone
his
that down a
scars.
bit in Mission Impossible.
Is
They
he
can't.
in
He's just
You
too
mean-
Mission
big.
Impossible?
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new
In the new one.
You
I
see me
haven't
whenever
seen it.
you see
Last
when
one I
I'm
saw
in
was
chat
Ghost
and I
Protocol.
post the Henry where he
Yeah, the
the-
shotgun arm.
the shotgun arms. That's him. That's him.
Dude is
I've seen it, Jake.
monstrous.
I hate it. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's him in Mission Impossible. Shotgun
So-
arms for days.
We don't actually know when this series is coming, but at least it's moving along. What do you guys think? Is it
Been
gonna-
in the
you
works
guys-
for a while.
It has. What do you
Depends
think?
how they
if
do,
They're getting Cavill.
if they do
they're down.
CGI,
It's happening.
Equivalent to like HBO's Game of Thrones Dragons, then I'll be happy. But if it's like a bad sci-fi movie CGI,
I can't
It
see.
can't
They
be.
got
With
Henry Cavill.
Like,
They must have a good budget.
There's some money here.
well, it's Netflix, guys.
I-
That's-
They
who
got a
doesn't
lot.
have a Netflix?
I'm not gonna lie, but I'm more excited for in October Castlevania season 2 coming out. So
Jake, we're not talking about
What
that.
does
right
that
I know,
have to
I'm
do
going
with-
right over that.
my
I don't give a
God.
shit.
I mean, we're all excited for that, but it doesn't really
I
matter.
didn't watch the first season.
Watch
you
the
not?
Well,
first
it's
season.
only
It was so
3
good.
episodes.
4.
You can get right through it. 4 episodes.
Good.
It was so good.
It was
Tasty.
so quick.
Well, it's an anime. That's like an hour.
It was a tester
episodes.
as well. Like they weren't
Yeah,
sure
Everything was
see what
how it was
exactly
gonna do.
seasons. And then that was supposed to come out in January. Never came back.
Season 2 came out.
I think season 2. What'd they say for how many episodes? 8.
I don't know. I
think
didn't
it's
check.
8. I think they doubled it to 8.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Interesting.
They're
Just-
1 hour.
just read the
right?
manga.
They're 1 hour.
12.
Yeah, they're 1 hour.
Oh, are they?
But they're
Yeah.
1 hour. So
Oh,
I mean,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make a difference.
Oh, it's so good. It's got
It's-
Richard Armitage in it from The Hobbit.
Mhm.
Another guy from The Hobbit too.
I love when he names
plays
actors. 'cause
Dracula.
He knows I have no idea.
Yeah, it was
he has to
You
do
don't
the
remember-
follow up.
I
Thorin,
don't pay attention
Oakenshield.
to actors.
Thorin.
Yes.
Thorin Oakenshield? I know. Okay,
Yeah, him.
Call him that.
Shield
because
of
I
Oak.
understand that.
Shield of Oak.
That's the other guy. The first one. What was it?
Mark
Dwalin?
Wahlberg? The other
No,
guys?
what?
Get it?
Where are you?
Dwalin, I think,
Straight.
was the name of the dwarf. The first one that showed up to the Shire and started eating all of Bilbo's food.
Anakin Skywalker.
All right, guys, that's enough.
Conversation instantly derailed.
Anyway.
I don't know what's wrong with these
I mean,
guys.
it
I
already
apologize to
derailed.
all of
We
you.
went from Henry Cavill to Castlevania.
I had to. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was more important to me in my life.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Honestly,
Moving
if they nail the
Is there any other
CGI,
news?
then I'll be happy.
About that, because they released a teaser trailer for it at one point. Didn't
Give
they?
me lots of
No.
Siri
That
too.
was-
I could have sworn there was like a.
No.
Oh, was it a fan made thing?
I don't know,
Probably.
probably.
I don't know, but they were hitting.
There was a Witcher movie
but I thought they were hitting for
back
an
from
actual Netflix.
2001. I think it was.
Sounds awful.
It was terrible.
There was actually.
It was not made
As
here.
imagined.
I'm pretty sure they did have an episodic thing.
Probably
too.
made in Poland.
I'm pretty sure it was made
Probably
in Poland.
was.
Yeah.
It would make sense, given that's a Poland-based franchise company, etc.
Yeah. But yeah, very high hopes for this one, and can't wait to hear more about it.
That's
I
our
mean-
segue into Cyberpunk.
No, it's not.
Greatest game.
You stop that.
I honestly was waiting for it. As soon as you said,
You are not allowed to do segues ever, because that's all you will segue to. Somehow you will get it to Cyberpunk.
And that's where we're talking about Cyberpunk right now.
No, we are not.
I'm about to hijack this show.
Me and you, teamwork.
you and I, can you please speak English during your hijacking?
No,
at
they
least?
can't.
No,
How?
it's gonna be some Wild West Red Dead 2 stuff. Me and my partner.
Oh, that's a little news we can talk about. I'll add that in there.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you got?
The GameStop employees who said that they
Perfect, Brennan segue.
were falling asleep while watching the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer that they were shown during GameStop something. GameStop had a special event and they sent a bunch of their workers. Red Dead, Rockstar showed a special trailer to them, and a lot of them said it was just horseback riding simulator. And then they got
It
to watch
wasn't a trailer.
heist.
it was gameplay.
Yeah,
right?
gameplay. Yeah, that's
I'm
what
gonna tell you nothing.
And then they got to watch a heist. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm a gamer, I'm excited for that. And these guys were telling us they were falling asleep.
So the news is all of those employees have been fired. Is what you're saying?
Hopefully.
Yes. That is actually the news.
Because if they're not excited
that's-
for a game like that, they're in the wrong business.
And they got
Or
to see it.
Or what?
it could be a bad game.
No
So
way.
they,
Are you
Shut up.
no.
My
I
God.
was about to launch into a rant about how pissed this was, and then that was worse. Oh my God, I'm a Superman punch you across the table.
You gotta be.
Henry Cavill coming out.
No,
Here we go.
no,
What are
I
you-
don't
Shotgun
have to
arms.
think
There's
anything because
metamorphosis.
it's Rockstar. Because it's a Red Dead Redemption game.
Okay.
I know it's going to be great. No, there's no there. I'll rip your face off.
Jake, I'm literally
Brad. Easy. You're gonna rip through that shirt.
Shotgun arms.
Just hulk it up.
It's
over.
He
okay.
just took a breath.
I'm literally just going to spend the whole game fishing. So
Anyhow,
Oh, dude,
I
that
don't know if
scene,
there's
man.
anything
Riding
else
a
in the game,
horse?
but
I
I'm
still
just gonna be
see
playing.
that
it's
scene.
pretty important if you're a cowboy. You kind of need
I
to do
know.
that. Kind of a big part.
Well, I guess a big part of it
There's
was
no
that
cars.
the guy couldn't find the sprint button Basically, he was trying to show off.
No,
like
he was
the
trying to
area.
showcase
Yes.
the
He's
graphics,
showcasing it.
the
It's
world.
Correct.
Because it's
And
a
that's what he
demo.
was trying to
it's
do.
what they
It's
wanted to
And
make.
beautiful.
they did not want to see it. They said, "Let's hustle this along." Because
The thing
was looking around.
it was the end of their week there. It was the last thing they were showed.
Yeah,
they were tired.
They were
going,
tired.
Fuck off.
They wanted to go home.
That
is angry.
to me is disgusting. This is
It
your
is
industry. You should be hype. If I was there, I would have been going out of my mind
out of his skull. As
He's
he is
going
right
out
now.
of his skull.
Currently.
right now. It's just
He has put on a separate shirt after
and
ripping through his.
They
first
got
three.
to see a heist, which is what I'm most excited for in this game.
Yeah, they
'Cause
pulled.
I'm
off
just
a-
gonna roll into town and start blowing up
Well,
banks.
not only did they
Or-
see the heist, they saw them planning it ahead of time. Like they cased the joint.
no,
they
no,
did
they
all
didn't
that.
say ahead of time. They
Or-
said like in between. Like there were
Yeah.
decisions you had to make during, which
Yeah.
is in a real heist.
Or
you
they're
have
all
to.
just excited about Cyberpunk 2077. So I don't really know.
He's
Well,
Listen,
everybody is.
I
trying
don't
to
think there's a
calm Brennan
person
with
on
this.
this earth more
He's trying-
excited
no,
than me.
he was trying to calm you. He was trying to.
Yeah, he's
soothe
trying
your
to
little
calm me. He's
soul.
trying to calm me down. Calm
You're
it
scaliness
down.
over there.
Let me go ahead. Jurassic Park World just
So they're
Nobody gets
they're-
that reference.
yeah, nobody
Terrible
can see
movie
you.
game.
Nobody can see you.
no one needs to see me to understand what I'm doing.
Thank goodness.
They-
Trying to blue me. It's
So-
not gonna work. Yeah, I watched the movie too.
Proud of you.
Yeah, that's awful that actually happened. And
I
that-
would have fired all.
how
of them
many
immediately.
employees did you say? Did you have a head count or
I did
all of
not.
them?
No, some said it was great. Some said
Yeah,
it
I
was
was going
going
to
to be the
say,
game
there's
of the
no
year.
way that they all walk away from that saying that. You know, and the people that did say it probably aren't even into those types of games to begin with.
Me would have
Yeah,
been
so
past.
there would be
well, that's
no
what a lot
point.
of them said was that they were falling asleep.
There would be no point in you watching that gameplay demo.
You're right.
They said the gun graphics were spectacular, the body graphics, the physics, which is huge in games like that. I
I just want to fish. Just
Yeah.
let me catch a largemouth out there. And
I'm physically hurt by this.
Also, some actual tragic news coming out of Japan. Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct scheduled, which they have delayed due to a deadly earthquake in Japan in Hokkaido. And we just wish everybody a quick recovery over there. And stay tuned for more information coming from that Nintendo Direct that we're probably going to get very soon. Rumored is maybe on the 13th, but nothing is set in stone yet. So our hearts go out to those people affected. In other news, THQ Nordic has acquired an IP that we are all very much in
He
love
means
with.
me and Kevin. Me and Kevin are in love with this game.
You don't even speak English.
You should
Me-
just
me
give
and
up.
Kev.
You're
This
a
is what we
terrible
do.
lizard.
Look,
Me and
scaliness
Kevin.
doesn't
You're
need to
just so
speak
obvious.
English.
You're such an obvious lizard. You don't even speak English.
THQ Nordic has acquired Kingdoms of Amalur.
This is going to be insane, by the way.
Reckoning
Yep. They also
2.
This comes from gamesindustry.biz. THQ Nordic has finalized a deal for the IP rights to Kingdoms of Amalur from its long since closed creator, 38 Studios. The deal, which was announced today, covers the critically admired RPG Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, which launched back in February 2012. However, THQ Nordic also advised that it includes Amalur, a version of 38 Studios' abandoned MMORPG project,
Oh,
Copernicus.
Oh.
Tell me how much you hate this game, Jake. Tell me how the
So,
art is just
hold
like
on.
World of
Hold on, I'm
Warcraft.
not done
okay.
yet.
So
Wait,
like,
hold on, I'm not done.
Let him continue.
According to interviews, following the very public collapse of 38 Studios in 2012, Project Copernicus was intended to be the first AAA $100 million plus free-to-play microtransaction-based MMO.
Oh,
I don't know if in this climate that'll do too well, but
they honestly they do well.
It's going to do so well.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think
Guild
it'll
Wars,
compete against like World of Warcraft?
not a
or-
chance.
No,
World of
World of
Warcraft
Warcraft
is
is
so
paid.
it's so gigantic that you can't really just
World of
beat the
Warcraft
beast.
is paid. It's not a free
I was,
MMO.
It's still an MMO.
But he's comparing
yes.
MMO to MMO. not necessarily.
MMORPG. Yeah, it's just
Guild-
that's the market it's in.
Guild Wars 2 has been free to play since the beginning for the most part.
You know, 3 of them just came
No,
out
it
in,
wasn't.
like, the last
You had to
week.
pay for that.
you had to pay for just the game, but
Well,
now
that's not free to
now
play,
they
Jake.
are free to play, and all they're doing is the same thing, and they're
There's
thriving.
So much hostility in this environment tonight.
Nevertheless, it's not like I
Mostly
dislike.
me,
So, I don't know. Wasn't it a podcast where we talked about this about me not liking MLR? I want to say it was.
Yeah, it was in a podcast.
Yeah,
So-
I think it was.
In episode that one,
We recommended it as a game to play.
Correct.
I said
Fantastic game.
I wasn't fond of the graphics because it reminded me of Warcraft, of World of Warcraft, the world that it was in. It didn't.
Mhm.
It didn't.
and this exact conversation went, and what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And you said
Personal preference is what it
they're
was.
too close. I don't like it.
Yes, for me,
Great argument.
And
It's-
Kevin and I stared at each other just like we are right now, and just rolled our eyes.
they synced eyes just
And
like
I
they synced
stared at
lips.
you,
By
just
the
like
way-
I am right now.
They also have. They got a couple other things from 38 Studios too that they did not announce.
Like what?
They didn't announce it.
Oh,
They just said some others.
Probably
I
assets.
actually,
Yeah,
in
probably.
that sentence, said that they didn't announce. But
Yeah, I thought then you had the info.
no, I did.
Do-
Yeah,
I mean,
You gave me
THQ
nothing
Nordic
right
wrote,
there.
Do I dislike Kings
My
of
6 or
Amalur?
7
No.
deep context.
Well, then
and
what is it
THQ
that
got
you
back to me.
dislike?
I didn't like the graphics. I said that. Like
The
that's all
graphics
there.
were
Jake,
great
what about
the
the
way
graphics did you
PlayStation
not
3.
like? Give me
Anyway.
specifics.
Nevertheless,
Anyways,
that's not important.
They are also THQ Nordic are the ones doing Biomutant
Yeah.
Darksiders 3 as well.
and Darksiders 3 right now.
Mhm.
So they're going to be flush.
They also
To redo
have
Kingdoms
the
of
purchased the rights to Time Splitters.
Ooh,
I don't know what that is.
I'm ready
That
for
was
that.
the what was that procedural
It was-
action
it
gun
was-
game
Yeah, it was a
where
gun
you
game,
use
like,
the peripheral guns and shoot them at the screen.
like an arcade.
Yeah, the arcade game, Time Splitters.
Pew pew pew.
Okay. Let's move right along into. Anybody got any other news? That's all I had for this week.
Ew. All
Okay,
right,
that's
what's
great.
next?
Well, let's
Let's
head
hurry up
over
before
to
Anthem
our
pops up.
Ni No Kuni 2. Brennan, you have been playing through this game for the last couple weeks.
No. I beat it in 3 days and then never touched it again.
Okay, well, how was it when you did that?
These
How were
three
those 3
agonizing
days?
He did not sleep.
They were good. It was a great game. Apologize for whatever
Let me
just happened
decipher
there.
that for you. Oh, I really liked it, Kev. It was a really nice game, really pretty. I just really enjoyed it. That's what that was.
That's what that was.
That's, yeah. Okay, continue.
Pretty spot on. I enjoyed the combat a lot. The skirmishes were really fun. Great part of the game, especially when I figured out how to turn your army. That made it a little easier. It was really hard before that because when your matchups did not go well. But anywho, Jake, how do you feel about Ni No Kuni 2, The Revenant Kingdom?
So,
Do you understand why it's called The Revenant Kingdom?
I definitely do.
Don't you like that?
I do.
That's great.
I like the touch.
Don't you love Roland? Fuck Evan.
Wow.
Don't you agree?
I do.
Yeah.
You can't not agree because
Roland's the best
that
character in
motherfucker was a
game.
badass.
Wow.
Wow. He is throwing them
It's a
out.
little gratuitous, but okay.
I mean, am I wrong?
It's 3:17 a.m., guys. We apologize for Jake's mouth.
You're
What-
not wrong. Roland was by far my favorite character. I felt like he was the main character. He was the guy you started with. I
Yeah.
don't know why they switched you to Evan, honestly.
Yeah, that was interesting to me too. As you start the game with Roland, and then you transition.
I
want to
say it would be foreshadowing, but it's not. It's just an event that shows what's to come. So
Yeah,
it gives you a foreshadowing that. So it gives you a good idea why it started with him because
I'm glad you understood that word.
Yeah, you
after
corrected
using
your
it.
own.
I'm sorry, guys. It's 3:17 in the morning.
You should be better than that.
Be
I-
better than that.
that's nothing for you.
So,
Yeah,
just
you
an
act like you
update on
never
a
go to bed
video we
before
talked
midnight.
about. Jake will now be doing the Blackheart fight because he has actually progressed further than me because I was doing hours and hours of overtime. So that's on Jake now. Enjoy.
Oh,
Good job, Jake.
Thanks, guys. I got Spider-Man to do. Can't do it right now.
On
but I
another
will.
note, Borderlands 2 Rewind coming in the future for me and Brett.
in the
Brett and
future.
I,
forward to
literally, just
I'm never
corrected
going to
you.
say it.
Brett, just give up. Give up on us.
God. Anyway,
It's not worth
let me just.
So,
from now on, I'm speaking.
Why
for
not
Brett.
toss us some questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us some direction, Kevin.
They clearly need.
Well, Jake, this would probably be more for you because I don't. Did you play the first one, Brennan?
No.
No. Okay, so this is a
I had
question for
enough Pokemon games.
question for you. Would be, Brennan, how did you enjoy the combat mechanics? Did you like
They were
them?
solid. What do you
You like
mean?
Well,
They were very
they're
smooth.
Pretty
they're
standard,
a s-
very similar
a
to
stark
Dark Souls.
difference from
so,
the
I
first
mean,
game.
Huge, absolutely
So,
gigantic in
Which
comparison.
did you prefer?
The second one.
You
hands
like the
down.
second one better?
100%. I didn't need Pokemon, and it was less spellcasting as it was just strictly a hack and slash RPG combat.
To be fair, there
Yeah.
were some great spells in this game.
Agreed. Astra is one of my favorite spells.
Like they do some massive damage, and rolling static wall does like 18,000. So
I hate that you skipped over skirmishes. Those are
No, he didn't. He said that
No,
was
we're
he
just
said
talking
that
about
was
that.
his
favorite parts of the
favorite
game.
Because
You want me to
skirmishes is
describe
not
it?
combat;
Yes.
it's an
It was
actual
just-
another portion of the game.
that's an
so
entire
skirmish
mechanic.
is like a
The
an army
coolest
kind
thing
of
ever.
battle where
so cool.
Evan's army, who you get a bunch of them through the game.
Tons.
You recruit people who have their own little forces, and you have up to 4 forces at one time with Evan. There's a might.
military might.
Yes, that's
When you
dictates
destroy like
pretty much how well you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of the game.
Each
is-
character that you choose is your lieutenants. They are commanders, whatever you want to call them. They have special abilities that carry on them in combat, so you can use them in predicaments that
What
happen.
are those called?
I don't know.
Were they
I
traits?
just want to point out that
It's
Assassin's
basically
Creed
traits.
basically took this exactly as it was and put it in their new game.
Okay,
No.
I don't know
No,
if
they
they got
didn't.
it.
What
No,
are you
these
saying?
skirmishes
This
are
is
totally
nothing
different.
like-
Yes, I know that
So,
they're different. They're war on
let's
war.
say in
This
the-
one you don't have. Well, not that we know of. You don't get units from the lieutenants, but they have the lieutenants. They have your group battles. They're not exactly like the skirmishes, but this is. I have to think they took some idea from this.
No.
I don't
not
think
necessarily,
so. I don't
because
think
in
it
this
was-
it's
No, they
it's
didn't.
not. You're not as closely you're not as.
I mean, to
closely
be fair,
involved in
Assassin's
combat
Creed has
as,
been
as it
doing
is in
stuff like
Assassin's
that.
Creed's.
No, I
Since all the
know.
way back in Revelations and Brotherhood 2, they had like you had forces and you could have them
What was
attack
the
things.
the other one?
Did they?
Unity? Unity
Yes.
did that too.
Yes.
Yep, Unity was a big one.
Unity was horrendous.
So the thing about it is like
That's why I
I'm gonna
blanked
give
that
you an
out of my
example.
Crashed
memory.
3 times and deleted all my data on my Xbox.
Oh,
Oh, really? On Xbox?
it was a thing that happened.
Oh.
That was
For-
an actual glitch that they had. That they
Oh, wow.
said,
That
"Hey,
they didn't
sorry
fix
about
for
that.
6 months.
Sorry."
for a skirmish, like for example, at the end of
Kevin
the
wanted to blame that on Xbox.
did.
at the end of the game, I had a guy who literally summoned a cannon turret. Like every time I needed to move forward, I just popped a turret down and had that turret focus fire and break things for me. I had another one summon a strafing squad of like airplanes that shot and dropped down missiles.
You start with that one.
Yep.
You can have them again, but I kept the same one from the beginning.
And the
Also
troops were
something-
broken down, and like spearmen,
Yep.
hammermen, swordsmen,
Yeah.
and archers.
And then
As
mages,
well as mages.
shields, guns.
There were a lot of different classes.
There was a lot of.
and
was
they
awesome.
each match up
It was
is
so
better
cool.
against certain
It's a
other
rock
classes.
paper scissors
Yeah.
gameplay.
And before you started, you get to see the map of who you're facing, so
Yep.
you know which troops you need to be using.
So I mean,
So
to be
there's a
fair, it's,
strategy element there.
Because I'm about to tell you my favorite part of the game.
what is it?
Don't think if it has to do with the
It's not
story, then
story
no.
content.
If it's
Skirmishes
not
aren't
story related,
No, it's
then
not
go
that.
ahead. Is story?
What is it?
It's about the Zeppelin.
Is
Oh.
it story? Don't do it.
I mean, to be
You
fair,
get it through the story.
it's. I'm going to say this. I mean, it's been 8 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly,
Just
a little
warn.
bit of talking
Spoiler
about it's not going
Spoiler
to be.
warning: if you don't want to know anything about Ni No Kuni 2's story,
Yeah.
skip forward 35 seconds from now. Go. Say it.
He did not give me a long time. The Zeppelin, because you can use it to travel across their entire world in like 5 minutes, and this is a
called the
very
Zeppelin, by the way.
expansive world.
Gigantic.
It's actually called the Zeppelin.
Zippelin.
It's
Actually,
Zip.
Ziplin.
Ziplin. Like I said, continue. Your 35 seconds is almost up.
And it was just a great way to traverse the world in a very timely manner, and it also showcased the beauty of the world itself,
Oh yeah.
which I was very fond
So
of.
I'm 100% in agreement with that. When you had the Ziplin, like the world changed completely from what it was before. Because in the beginning, you just had a boat to travel. Once you gained the boat, and then once you get that Ziplin, you literally could go places that you've never seen before and find things that you never had before.
This is the longest 35 seconds in my life.
No, that's okay. I'm not gonna
That had
do
no
anything
story in
because
it,
that's
literally.
not story related at
Yeah,
all.
there's no story.
In the
You get it
first
through the
game,
story.
You get it
it's
through
the
the
same
story.
progression. You start with a boat and then you actually fly a dragon around. So
That's way cooler, actually.
That's way cooler.
but
I wish I
this
you,
is
could fly
just
a
you
dragon.
play a trumpet and the dragon comes and you
Yep.
fly.
Magical
The-
trumpet.
The thing
Yeah.
that
I'm glad they went to an airplane.
Zeppelin.
Ziplin.
Ziplin. Of
Oh,
course it is.
Because it was so fast.
in combat, like
No, it was named after Zap.
zip something,
Zad. Zips.
zip something rather. Who's a what's it?
His name's dumb.
Anyway,
The zip effect.
What did you guys think about the Dreamer doors? Did you experiment with those much?
Beat every one of them,
Every
you like
single one
them?
of them,
including the faraway forest.
including the faraway forest.
Nice.
All the way to floor 30.
Was it floor 30?
Third
Floor
floors?
30.
You're right.
Level 95 boss.
Yeah, that's
What level were you?
I was level 73.
Oh, that's rough.
I destroyed it.
It was painful.
What level were you when you did it?
I was around 73, 76. So it was pretty. It was
It
rough.
was soon after I beat the game, so that's right around the level you are when you do that.
I like the Dreamer doors, and once you progress enough in the game, the Dreamer doors actually become more and more expansive. Like I can sit there and go to a Dreamer door and say, well, fuck this Dreamer door. I'm going to say this Dreamer door increases its danger level, which is which the enemies once
It's
you
the
increase
best farming method. As
yes,
well.
once you increase the danger level to a certain point, enemies get more troublesome, harder to kill. At level 5, once you're in the hardest Dreamer door, they are
They're level 110.
110s.
Oh,
right
wow.
around there.
Yeah,
And your max level is 99, correct?
No, for you, I think.
Yes,
that's
for
what
you
I
it's
said.
99.
Yeah, and for them it's 110. So or however much you can
And
get
the
to.
thing is, the enemies are harder than the bosses at some points in the
Oh, yeah.
Dreamer mazes.
I agree.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, they can overwhelm you. That's probably why.
No, they just like the Skeletal Paladins. They tank stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, is that?
and-
Oh, it's like that.
and there's a lot of enemies that are just basically remaps of enemies beforehand.
That's
Just stronger
every
versions.
game
Yeah,
after.
Right.
but the last form of that literally it'll hit you, and if they're high enough level, they will not stop hitting you, and then they'll hit you one more time, and usually at that point you're already dead. So like
If you're struggling to understand what he was talking
What
about.
was
they-
that?
they
They
do,
have
like-
a move where they whack you repeatedly,
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 times, and then they follow it up with a stronger version of that attack.
Yeah.
It's
Is it-
usually an uppercut.
Because I was so perplexed by whatever that was.
Is it also area of effect? Is it like swinging around, or
No.
is it?
nope,
it's
just up
just straight at you.
overheads.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
but if
overheads.
the first one hits you, you
But they're
get
quick.
hit by all of
Yes.
them.
Oh, it's
And
you
you
can
chain.
roll out of it if you're good.
But if you go through and you're blocking it,
Not
even
Jake.
blocking it does a
It
lot
comes
of
through that.
yeah, it's still a lot of damage.
Well, blocking
they're-
itself doesn't really negate a lot of damage.
Not for
you're,
this,
You're
no.
far better off
Yeah.
rolling.
Exactly.
Well, that was basically the mechanic that
Right.
they chose for this.
Well, I
Which is
watched Brennan
completely
fight
different.
a level 50 windworm 4 minutes into the game, and
How'd that go?
it was pretty funny.
Did you win?
No.
Oh,
I was level
that's
10.
a one shot.
It
man.
one
That's
shot him.
I'm glad we all did the same thing. I hope because I did the same thing when I was
Well,
low
yeah,
level.
you come into the
Oh, yeah,
first map and
I
you're
went
like,
right
"Oh,
at
there's a
him."
dragon over there.
I'm gonna go fight that.
Let's go.
Actually,
you learn quick.
I said,
Don't go
I
fight
think
that.
Kaylee was watching me, and I said, I'm gonna go fight this. Didn't work out.
As is expected.
I
5
knew-
hours later, it worked out.
yeah,
Ended that dragon at level 33.
Did you use Jake's farming method?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I abandoned it because I went in at level 15 and it just wasn't
I
working. It
know
would have
the-
been so much time, and then I just came back like an hour later at level 20, and it was so much easier and it was so much more worth it.
About weapons though, like the weapon that I picked up from that was almost level like 250 damage, which is a lot.
Yeah, the Redeemer sword.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was the maxed out one I could get, and
I mean, that was like one of the best swords you can get in the whole game.
I
until
did
you
not
get to, like, the
exchange that
higher
until,
Dreamer
until
mazes.
very close to the end. Like I did not
Wow,
swap
really?
that weapon out.
When you
Yep.
start getting like the Nebula swords and the
Yep.
Sovereign swords.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. He's right.
I was so ecstatic when I had that, and then I just kept. I realized that once I started comparing weapons, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm never going to change this out. Like
Was that a random drop?
it was a random drop. Yeah.
Like
It's
low chances of getting it, or
Yes, I had, because I wanted all 3 of my weapons to be a form of the Redeemer sword with different attributes. So it took me until I was like level 50 farming that
So
area
that's
to get all
30
3.
levels.
and you only got 3 of them?
Yes.
Yeah, it takes.
Oh, wow.
It took a while.
Evan had all my trash swords.
Even equipment
Trash,
there,
Evan.
for the most part, equipment there you had for a while. You
He
couldn't
doesn't like
replace.
Evan.
I don't
Armor-
mind Evan.
Armor was good as
The
well.
thing is, they
f-
always
from that
played
place.
as Roland.
Yeah.
So if you like main Evan, then of course you're gonna feel that way. But nobody does. They just played Roland.
Okay, Evan has some really cool magics. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care.
What did you think of the Higgledies, your companions?
Depends on the one you have. I mean, I got some really good ones, and I maxed leveled them real quick, and they were just so OP. But
So
there are a
the-
lot of trashy ones.
The
that just
Higgledies come in
aren't
like a
worth
little
it.
point value that you had to match up. So you have 10 points, and you could put up to 10 points equal to Higgledies or whatever.
And you can
it's-
have 4
it is
Higgledies. on your team.
Absolutely hard to choose at the end of the game because I had the Higgledies that were 5 to 4 points or whatever, and it's like
You can
I'm
have 1-5 and 5 ones.
yeah, and literally 1-5, and I had to figure out where I wanted to put the the lower levels, and it was a chore.
See, I went with 4 mid levels because they complemented their skills really well together, so that it made up for not having one of the higher range ones.
I got one of the ones. I got a level 4 for because your skills match with the Higgledies elements because they're all elemental spirits. So once you get a certain spell, it'll say, "Hey, a spell, skill, whatever." It'll say, "Hey, you need this many Higgledies
to turn it into a different skill, or
So
like
I
a
used
higher powered skill.
static shell or shock or whatever it was.
Static wave.
Yeah, with Roland, and I only I literally focused. One of them was my highest ones. I'm like, you're going to be the best one, and I do so much damage now.
Oh, nice.
Best Higgledy skill in the game is Me Too, Me Too. So when you use one of your other Higgledy skills, this one will use the same skill.
That's dope.
And
That is
Yeah, it
so
is.
cool.
one
That
of
is-
them that I had was like, it had used summon the Higgledy God, essentially, which did explosive damage. And then, I had
2
I'm
Higgledy
sorry,
gods.
It's 4 a.m. I'm dying.
It's actually 320.
So I had one,
330.
and they did one of 2 effects. They either healed you full health, or they just exploded into massive damage. So I'd have one explode and one heal me.
Oh,
And
I
it
was just going to ask if it did.
was- Yeah, they don't
both-
have to do the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
But it
Yeah,
was,
that's really cool.
I got to check on
it was
that
the coolest thing
because
Yeah, you better look into that. You're going to probably need that for this fight that you're going to
for
be
the
doing.
black art. Yeah,
I'll
I'll send you their names. You can cook them up.
I'm not as. I
That's
think
such a
I
cool-
have a good chunk of them, but
I can hear it actually because I heard it so many times. I was playing Overwatch the whole time,
Yeah, the
and you would
circles
literally
pop
just
up
hear,
a lot. You could
Yeah,
use
they do.
and then I had no idea what was going on. But that's so cool that I now
That's
know.
what it is.
so
By the
I-
way, that was a spot on voice for the
That was
Higgledy.
pretty good.
It
I
was
liked
well
it.
done.
So if since
That
we're
tells
talking
you how
about
many times
Blackheart,
I
just to
heard
kind of give you guys a heads up, Ni No Kuni came out with the DLC that came out was like the Adventure Pack.
Yep.
And that's what came out
It was
with
free.
Blackheart's
Came out
story.
free.
That one is free.
which is awesome.
There
So
will be
I
more.
love free DLCs.
that story
Especially when it
progresses.
adds quests and story.
Such a huge thing.
Weapons too, right?
Yes, I think at the end of it you'll get a stronger weapon.
Yes. that
Well,
is
I
We'll
would
see how
imagine
it
from
matches
the
up.
hardest boss in the game, you would get a nice weapon. Yes.
I don't know. Right now I'm pretty hefty.
We'll see how it compares to
I'm
what
pretty
you have.
thick, if you will.
With a Q.
So continue. Go ahead. What do you got?
So the thing about this is that they give you quest after quest. Now the fun thing about it is that if you're playing the game, you can do these quests if you've done a lot of if you just kind of explored enough. You can do some of these quests already, and get the gifts from them. The I can't even word.
There's a lot of those.
It's.
Are you saying rewards?
Yes,
Is
thank
that
you,
what
that's the
wanted?
word.
Oh my god.
I'm so
I
tired.
couldn't even figure it out.
That's what it was.
So
Rewards?
you'll get a reward
Rewards.
called
He said
Hero's
gifts.
Delight.
Oh my god, best thing to have in the game.
Now,
Heroes to light.
Heroes Delight.
Heroes delight.
It's a
What's
food
that?
item,
yeah, it's a
and when you eat it, its added thing is it makes you real full, which is what all food does. I don't know why I started with that one.
I don't know either.
The main bonus is massively boosts experience.
massive.
Oh, nice.
So when I first started farming, for example, I put it on Roland only. I had 4 of them, but I was like, I don't care about the other characters. So
wait,
I was,
hold on a second. Can you farm these items?
No.
Oh, you
No,
can't.
But
I don't even
have
think you
like
can
10
make
in
it.
my inventory. You
Are-
can make it
They're
once
a,
you find
they're
the
a
recipe.
reward from quests, correct?
Oh, is that what
And
it is?
it's a
Quest
food
rewards?
item, so you can make it once you find the recipe book, which I have. Oh,
How'd you
Jake,
find it?
I'm never telling you. So anyway,
Wow.
Is it difficult to make though?
We should do a
Yes,
YouTube
very.
video
Yeah.
on
It's
that,
the
by the
number
way,
one food.
because that sounds very important to the game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just
yeah,
saying.
Jake, get right
Jake
on
doesn't
that.
have it yet, so
He doesn't
perfect.
have the recipe.
Well, I returned that game to you, Kevin. So
Well, at least you must tell him where the recipe is.
we'll see.
Wow.
But yeah, I used that when I was doing Jake's farming method, and I ended up 4 levels higher than the rest of my characters. So
So the one that used it was 4 levels higher at the end.
Wow.
When I did it, I have yet to change out Roland's equipment. So I gave him. There's a ring that you get for like free DLC in the beginning if you bought the pre-order of Ni No Kuni called the Tidy Ring. It gives you a massive boost of experience, and then you're going to get a necklace that gives you a great boost of experience. So I literally just have him eat that food too, and all that stacks.
I was just gonna say, does it stack or
Yeah.
no?
So literally, when I go into a dungeon and I, hit something that's a level 100, my experience will just chunk up fast. And
how are you not level 99 yet?
I
I don't
just-
have those rings.
Spiderman.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Any other thoughts on Ni No Kuni 2, guys?
Great game. Buy it. Probably a game of the year contender. Although I'm not seeing anyone talking anything about it. So
Definitely
Honestly,
a game of the year
it was,
contender.
all I did was watch, and it was so fun to watch. It's
It's-
so visually stunning.
It has, yes, one of the best
Beautiful
scores,
animation.
visually stunning,
Studio
and
Ghibli.
it's and
What,
the storyline. Even though like some of the parts are,
which I used to pick
Or
on you about.
cringy cheese.
yeah,
When you first talked about
But
it,
some of
I
them
would-
are
I
really
told
good
you,
too.
man. I told you before it
it
came
was
out.
exactly like watching a Studio Ghibli film.
Can you
I
say
know.
Ghibli for me, please? Because it's not Ghibli.
Princess Mononoke never made me cringe.
Mononoke.
Yeah, but
This made me cringe at points.
we're talking
but
but this is
the
more
writing-
along the lines of a child.
But you
trying
have
to
to
save the
realize
world
part of
type of
it
thing.
is
Well, they didn't-
it's Japanese.
yeah,
Evan's speeches, I
And
kind of just
not
wanted to
all
punch
of
him in
it's
the
gonna,
face the
well,
whole
not
time.
all of it's going to transfer over. It's
Yeah.
Japanese writing.
No, I just hated his voice
Oh, well.
And
That
his
has
face.
nothing to
Also
do with the
English.
script.
and his words.
Brennan just really
Anyway,
doesn't care.
we we did a review on this game. Jake, what did we award it?
I think it was an S, wasn't it?
It wasn't us.
Why are you looking at me? You're the one who wrote that review.
I don't- look, it's
because
been
I'm
a
the one
while.
who
It was
graded
nice.
it and rewrote it. That's right.
It got the Society seal.
It did.
The Society Seal of Approval.
Nice.
And Jake also wrote an article about why it's a game of the year contender. I don't know if we posted that one. Though.
Yeah, we did. It's
yeah,
on there.
that's one that is on there. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. The review was
That is
just pure garbage.
tsgg.online, by the way, where you can check out those reviews.
Oh,
And you should.
he sent me like a half a paragraph, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
This is why it is good. It is good because it's pretty. The end.
I am
essentially what I read. I was like,
By-
yeah, I'm gonna go to
SS.
sleep and never
By
look
That
at
was
it
me.
a
again.
joke. It's so accurate.
It was terrible.
You want me to write
Not
you
your
stuff?
best work.
Anyway,
All right, so what's up next?
that's what we've got on.
Up next,
Ni No
we
Kuni
have
All right,
Ubisoft's
okay.
upcoming title, Starlink
Starlink.
Battle for Atlas.
I like the way you said it. Like we were going to talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey there, and you just threw
We are
everybody
not.
off.
We've already talked at great length about
No, I know.
Odyssey.
I like it. I was
And
being
now we're gonna
serious.
fight Medusa.
I like the way
not
you said
Dater or whatever the guy
This
said.
guy wasn't here for the whole podcast. Didn't even hear any of it.
Probably didn't even listen to
Jake,
it.
put that down.
Anyway,
Thank you.
in Starlink Battle for Atlas, if you don't know anything about this game, you operate as a
YouTube it
pilot
right now.
in the Atlas star system, fighting against the Forgotten Legion.
Forgotten Legion.
The Forgotten Legion has resurfaced after many years to harvest the planets.
Many years.
There are 7 planets in Atlas, all
hate
fully
both of you.
fleshed out. Was that?
I had to tell
7
them I hate
planets.
them both.
Well, yeah, they suck tonight. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Don't say tonight.
So
Always.
there are 7 planets in Atlas. All of them are fully fleshed out planets, complete with flora and fauna.
And
And
animals.
What?
Fauna.
did you just say that?
I'm blaming that on the time. This is my one use of the time.
The time.
And he said we suck.
They are completely independent of each other. Everything here is beautifully artistically drawn, and best of all, you are free to travel and explore each of these worlds at any time. Travel is seamless with no loading screens whatsoever as you break through an atmosphere and head towards the surface, or when you decide to head back out into space. You may be on a planet and look up and see a space station that you want to visit, and you can go there at any point in time.
Can we destroy the space station?
Can you destroy the space station?
There is space battles
'Cause
and everything in
It's
this game,
forgotten.
so, yeah.
If the space station happens to be Forgotten Legion,
You
or
can,
if there are orbiting Forgotten Legion, you can fight them.
quests are all around each planet, and scanning environments and animals will give you research for further development. So speaking of development, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which I've heard from you guys many times over. So I'm going to give you a complete breakdown on the toys to life aspect of this game. When
Too
you
expensive.
Spyro, why don't you get in here?
Stop.
when you
Let him go
purchase
into it because that's my one
Starlink
concern about the
Battle
game.
for Atlas, you are purchasing a starter pack for this game. No matter what console you buy it on, it is a starter pack. Each starter pack comes with the following: the Starlink game, a controller mount for the toys, 1 pilot, 1 ship, 3 weapons. And that's what comes in every starter pack on all the consoles, with one exception being the Nintendo Switch version, which comes with everything I just said, plus Fox McCloud pilot. And in place of the ship you would have gotten, you get the physical copy of Fox's R-Wing ship. And so Mason, the pilot, also comes with this, and you get the physical Mason, but his ship is actually digital. So you get a digital. So you get 2 ships, 2 pilots, and still 3 weapons for the Nintendo Switch. So if I had to recommend something, I would definitely recommend, if you have a Switch, this is the console you should get it on, because you're getting Star Fox and the R-Wing. And actually getting the physical version of the R-Wing.
And then you're also literally taking an entire universe with you on the go with the Switch, by the way.
Not only that, but you can also play as Fox McCloud and use the R-Wing for the entirety of the game. And it comes with specific missions that are
Correct.
for Star Fox, or for Fox McCloud only.
And
So-
his basically how he joins
Yeah, how
the,
he got there.
Starlink
and his purpose
how he
there.
worked there, right?
Yep. And none of that will be on any other console. The starter packs, all of them are priced at $75, and that's the entry fee. And including the Nintendo Switch is $75 as well. Also available for purchase are Starship packs. Now, these Starship packs come with 1 ship, 1 pilot, 1 weapon, and they cost $25. The weapon packs are also available. 1 weapon, $10. And the pilot packs are also available. 1 pilot, $8. All purchases are also digitally available at a lower price, but we currently don't know how much those are. So as we find out, we'll let you guys know. And Ubisoft has said repeatedly that the only purchase you are required to make is for the starter kit. You can play the entirety of the game with only the starter kit. Nothing is locked behind any type of paywall, and nothing was designed so that you had to purchase certain ships or weapons for certain areas. None of that is going on in this game. The entire game from start to finish can be played with that starter kit. I can't stress that enough, because Ubisoft, frankly, isn't stressing that enough. So I think it's very important to make a note of that. Because this is really the elephant in the room. How much is this game going to cost me to play? And if you put together all of the available items that are out there, you're over a couple $100. And
You're pushing 4 actually.
yeah,
Probably.
They have about 8 ships right now, which itself would be $200.
yeah. So the simple answer to the question is $75 is how much you have to pay to play this game. All of these other ships, pilots, and weapons are available for you if you find yourself interested in them. So personally, I'm extremely interested in the packs. I grew up during the pinnacle of toys, which companies put huge money into toy making, and were always being innovative back then. So
In case you're wondering how old Kevin actually
seeing
is, he
these-
just told you.
Stone Age.
1,000.
seeing these types of ships and stuff coming back with what the technology that's built inside of them. Matt Rose, the producer of Starlink, he grew up with these toys too, and that was the basis for his vision in this game. He wanted to make quality toys that look great, yet they still function in the game. And what they have created is a wonder, and the models look incredible as well. So you have a great looking lineup of ships, pilots, weapons that are all able to be modified. The level of detail on these toys is very high. These don't look cheaply made at all. And the tech inside of them is brand new tech as well. What do you guys think of the toys? Have you got to see them? Have you
This
checked
is
them out
actually
at all?
my only concern about the
They're
game,
sick.
honestly.
I mean, price-wise, I'm worried about that, but when they were showing it and they were just pulling the ship apart and it was on screen coming apart, and
That's
they
the coolest thing.
were adding
It's
pieces,
instantaneous.
It's a 1-to-1, yeah.
And
It's-
how you build it in your hands is how it looks on the screen. And
yeah. So
I mean, it's
all of
wild.
And
all
it
of the
impacts
things-
it too. Is the craziest part is I can pop this thing's wings off, put them on backwards, and that's going to impact how this ship works.
and it happens instantly.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing to the physical toys happen inside of the game instantly. As soon as you reverse that gun or look up at the screen, it's happening. Like, so there could be scenarios where you want to do that. Say if you are in a fight and you're getting chased and you just reach down,
Flip the guns.
flip the gun to reverse, it happens and you're shooting. And
Backwards.
that's really cool. Another thing to note is for those times when you don't feel like using the controller mount and having the ship and doing all these things, when you first scan an item into the game, it forever stays in your inventory. So at any time you can pull up the inventory screen and digitally make the changes and then go back into the game.
So what you're saying is trading ships
is a thing, 100%.
It is totally a thing.
So that's dope.
So I'm
Yeah.
stealing
Not even-
the R-Wing
not
from
even
Kevin
trading.
immediately.
That was
We
part
get the
of
R-Wing. I
that
already
was-
pre-ordered it.
Like,
yeah,
on
that was
Switch?
part
Yes.
of
I'm getting it on Xbox. I wonder
Why?
if the R-Wing will go over to Xbox.
Ooh, question.
Good question, actually.
So is there any other notable?
No, the R-Wing is not going to go.
Are
That's
there-
Think it'll
exclusive.
scan over?
No, that's exclusive.
Oh, we're gonna test it.
No,
we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
So is there any other
They said
spaceships that
that's-
are
It
coming
should
out?
be
Nintendo
exclusive
exclusive.
because it is Nintendo.
Yeah.
But if I get it on Nintendo and he gets it on
It's
Xbox,
just
what's
not going
the
to
st-
work. It's just
You
won't
think
work.
though?
Yeah.
You
I
think they
so,
actually
yeah.
We're gonna
coded that
find
in
out.
there?
I'm
I'm
gonna
pretty-
put the
yeah.
wings on my ship if it doesn't.
I don't
Just
think
have
it will.
R-Wing wings.
So at any time you can change your loadout digitally.
Nope.
That's very
I don't think they
important
thought
for
of it.
Nintendo Switch owners who want to play on the go.
So
You
are
don't
there
have to worry about having that controller
Oh,
mount
yeah,
and having
of
the ships
course,
and all that.
is there any other spaceship crossovers, or is that just the only one?
That is the only crossover so
yeah,
far.
they designed everything else for the game. Like
Yeah.
so each hero as well has its own special ability. So this is why price concerns me so much. So it doesn't. You don't have to do it. You don't have to have a different hero. You don't have to have. But at the same time, that's one of the coolest aspects of the game.
And the better heroes.
And the
are
better
obviously
heroes
not
have
gonna be
different
the
skills.
starter pack.
and-
Well, the only thing that a hero gives you is a hero ability.
right.
Yeah, but
And-
you also got the ships are better. The ones that
they're
don't come
different.
with it.
That's
and
the thing.
guns.
Well,
and
R-Wing is super overpowered. If you watch
Right,
videos of
yeah.
the R-Wing online,
Well, the
he's-
R-Wing is
he's
the
super
R-Wing.
overpowered.
it
It's-
wrecked.
So if you want, if
They,
you,
they should have
if you
also-
have a
bought it.
Switch
It
and you're gonna
destroyed it.
get this game, you get it on the Switch because the R-Wing is OP.
Also, the R-Wing is the only ship in the game that if you have no weapons attached to it,
It has its
it
own,
has the R-Wing traditional
which are
weapons.
super overpowered.
Yeah.
That's
Super-
that's the one we
super
watched
strong.
the boss.
And
there's a
yes,
boss
Jake,
fight
it
on.
does do the barrel roll.
Damn right it does.
And it also has articulating wings like
Yep.
the regular R-Wing would.
Yeah, when it
They move.
goes to battle mode.
Mine's
Yeah.
have backwards wings.
So
It's important to note that as you make these changes, the physics engine inside of the game actually reacts as well. You can see the ship bog a little bit when you add
Mhm.
weight to it. This is important not only because the added weight is going to affect your movement, but it also to point out that the level of detail that they're putting inside of this game is very, very high. Is going to have a high production value.
I'm a little worried about the tech.
Really?
How's it going to hold up over the years?
I mean,
Oh, you mean the toys?
I mean, I guess if it's digitally like stored in there, it's not a huge worry. But
Spyro's version of this game was stellar for so long, and it was such a huge cash grab. People loved it.
well,
I
not
mean-
only Spyros, Skylanders,
Skylanders, that's
which
what
was
it's
like
called.
the original.
And the
That's still
Disney,
big.
Disney's Infinity.
Yep,
think
also
it
the
was.
same thing.
Afterwards,
They did really well. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like they didn't do well. People love that stuff, and people
No, it
like
just
it.
became overload.
so
Yes.
there's
So
a few
they
differences
drowned out
here
the
though.
market.
That this is where my concern. This is literally my only concern with the game. Watching gameplay, it's absolutely beautiful. And like he said,
love
there's
that it's
7
open
planets
world.
that are
Yeah.
absolutely open world.
open
Yeah.
universe.
So I
really.
can look
Open
up,
universe.
soar through the atmosphere, which by the way is really cool because your ship like burns like it would
Yeah.
entering the atmosphere,
Sure
Atmo
does.
Burn?
and then you're just in the universe, and it's completely open. There's nothing. So the game itself it's incredibly beautiful. You get in dog fights with other ships. It's so cool.
Yeah.
This is the thing that concerns me because, like I said, the other ships. You don't have to do it, but if you're into the game and this ship is cool or whatever, $25 is a lot. That's a lot of money. It just is. That's half another video game, and
Well, the 25 is for
the ship. The
No,
ship
that's
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 full
Pilot
payment
weapon.
the full.
on Xbox All
That's the full
Access.
ship pilot weapon.
right. Which
So you can complete your. If you go that route, you're going to complete the set,
the set with that one, yes.
which any collector is going to complete
Exactly.
the set anyway. So
Automatic.
they're already prepared.
That's why I had to say the $25 and not the other two because it's
Yeah.
going to be the $25 when it makes the
it's
most
your better
sense.
value
It
for
is.
sure.
But $25 is a half a game at this point.
Yeah.
And that's
or a full price game, and depending on the game.
yeah. So that's where my concern with the game lies, because with the games like Skylanders and stuff like that, the figures were, it was just a figure that you had to buy because the figures were your little heroes. So they didn't have all of this ship, gun, character. They didn't have all that, and at the same time, they were like $7-8, and you could get like some of the better characters in the game that way, and it was just the character you had to buy, and then you could be set. This worries me a little bit because the game's awesome, the game's incredible. You only have to spend the $75. I get that, but you know that's not going to happen. So if anybody enjoys the game, you really want to enjoy it, you're going to want to collect the things. You're going to want to get the ships. You're going to want to get the characters, and there's no way in game to get these other things.
No, yeah, there is. It's all digital.
Yeah, you can buy them cheaper
No.
than
I
digital.
mean, you buy
can't
them.
earn them.
You
Oh,
can't earn them in
yeah.
any way.
No, you can't.
Which
You have to purchase them.
Which it makes sense, but at the same time, it kind of hurts me because if
you'd expect there to be some way to gain.
Guys, if you could earn them, you wouldn't have to buy them. There's no way to make money that way. Come on.
There are games
Well-
that do that already, though. When it comes
well,
to
at the same time,
Like,
if
you're
it's
not
Well, we don't
If
know
it's
if
too
there's a
separate.
way to
So,
purchase
if I can get a
the digital
ship-
versions.
if I can get a ship and I can earn, it doesn't have to be the same type. Like if you've got stuff that's only purchasable,
Yeah.
I understand it, and then it makes them like, okay, I want this cool ship, I'm going to purchase it. But at the same time, if you've got other ships in game that I can earn, that gives me some form of variation at the same time.
and also incentive to play the game too.
Right,
and
and
other things.
Well, the incentive is the exploration, the story that they have a
I
full,
don't think you're saying
fully
it
fleshed out
lacks
story.
incentive. I think
It just
it
adds to it.
more
It just-
Well,
incentive.
I mean,
it gives you more of an addiction towards the game to want to
regardless,
complete more
it is
game,
7
more
planets.
things,
It is a big
especially if
game.
you find a better
But at some
weapon or
point-
ship.
At some point, you're going to run out of things to do. And this is where like drops and gear and loot come big into the game.
New ships.
Okay,
But
that
this doesn't
actually
have any of that.
happens in this. This is a fully fledged RPG.
Right.
So everything you just said actually happens in this
Yeah,
game.
and you have collectibles and stuff like that.
All of the mods that you're talking about when you're getting the other
Mods.
weapons and stuff, yeah,
Right.
that actually happens in the game too. All of your ship's stats can be altered. All of the weapons and mods that you put on these ships can all be upgraded.
Right.
And you have to go and find the materials by exploring the galaxy,
Quests,
doing
stuff
quests,
of that nature.
scanning
Right.
environments, etc.
But you don't.
But
get,
you do not pay real money for these upgrades. This is the
Right,
RPG
but it's
system.
one
that's
But you
built
don't
in.
ship.
get new guns or ships or
Well,
characters.
no, because right now, like if you have the Frost Barrage gun, you can upgrade it to do different things. So essentially, it would
right.
be a different gun.
You can say
it's
it like
gonna be the
that, but
base
you're not
thing
getting
regardless.
like loot, for example, and it's like a
It's
like
gonna be a really
mod
good
and
game.
materials.
It's going to
and-
be
Yeah.
It's this is just my concern for it is that it's meant to be customizable. You're meant to have the different ships, the different wings. You're meant to have that. And you kind of don't unless you spend that extra money. And for a lot of gamers, that's going to be a hard sell to
You don't have a lot of money.
to say, can I buy? Well, I can buy this one ship, or I can buy basically a new game.
Yeah, well, they can also digitally say, here's the hero pack, all heroes, $10. You don't know that yet.
Which will eventually occur.
Here's
It
a holiday
always does.
sale.
Yeah.
Here's all the content, $30. You don't know.
But then that's going to hurt my soul because I've just spent 50 on 2 ships, and then they come out and say, here's all the ships
Yeah,
for
but
$25.
do you have those physical collectibles?
Yeah,
Which
I see what you're saying. It just kind of...
at the price they're at, they're totally worth
I
that
really
price.
care about the toys.
25
though,
for
for
No,
me.
but that's the
A lot
thing.
of
Like
people
a lot
do,
of
though.
people
It's a
do
collector
care about
thing.
the toys because these toys are like the toys of old, unlike today's toys. So I mean, there's a lot of character
I
in
know
these.
what's so great about Stretch Armstrong, Kevin.
What? Are you serious?
Those are the toys
Stretch
of
was
old.
amazing. How dare you?
Yeah. I'm buying
Anyways,
the game though. Regardless,
yeah, it's
It
going to be a
looks
good
great.
game.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be
excited
good.
for it, but
Take the toys away from it, and you still have a starfighter here, and it's just the mechanics of the game itself, any of the combat. It's all very, very well done.
yeah, I mean, it's Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Not to say everything they've done is great, but they're pretty good.
This
this is
studio.
a game that
Assassin's
they've
Creed.
Syndicate.
they've been
Unity
working.
to Origins.
They've been working more than 5 years on this title. They're
Mhm.
not pumping out annual releases, trying to hope for the best. I mean,
Well, it is almost breast
Freudian
cancer awareness
slip.
month, so we're almost there.
I was thinking about Assassin's Creed
What does that have to do with anything?
because it was tragic how in the last couple of years when they were pumping them out, how bad they got.
I knew that. I know what you're saying there. That's
To be
not-
fair, it was only a couple. I mean, Rogue was good. Black Flag was good.
Black
3 was
Flags is
good.
my favorite.
Black Flag,
But Unity,
My man,
Frag.
Unity and Syndicate were trash though. So it's
Hannibal argued with me that Syndicate was the best Assassin's Creed, and I told her I wasn't going to talk to her anymore.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Stop. Delete her contact right now.
Delete.
But she didn't play any of the older ones.
She hasn't
Syndicate
played
was the most.
Black Flag.
No,
She hasn't.
Wait, she
played
hasn't played
Brotherhood.
no, she hasn't played any.
She needs to play
she's,
2.
She's a little bit
So
younger
good.
than we are.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Auditory, the best, except for
Is-
Altair is better.
Is the GOAT.
No, he's not. He's definitely not.
Altair is the best.
No.
I care what you guys say.
Ezio's the best.
He's the
Alexios
original.
is actually the best. So
That's fair.
So that's Starlink Battle for Atlas, which comes out October 16th. So it's coming very soon.
Too many games.
So many games are
So
coming out
many
this
games.
fall. Is
I
overloaded
have
with
4
games.
pre-orders in October.
Oh, it's insane. One game has come out recently.
What game
That
is that,
one
Kev?
is Insomiac Games' brand new Spiderman
Spider-Man.
for the PS4. So I want to start out by saying this is number 1 of the big 4 that Sony's banking on. And if this is an indication of why they only wanted to talk about these 4 games, this is very good for Sony.
I'm pretty meh about it personally, but
You haven't played it yet.
yeah, but I've seen it.
What about it makes you mad?
I just don't like the progression. It doesn't seem like it matters all that much.
What are you
It
talking
seems like it's more suit based than
Not at all.
RPG.
No, there's a whole skill system in
Yeah,
there.
the skill base is
Jake, you literally told me earlier it doesn't change as you level. These
What?
are your words.
the skill. Yeah, the actual suits do not like do anything. They don't change anything when you level up. No, you just get more suits and you gain more skills.
No.
Yes. Well, you get a couple health here and there, percentages of damage output. That's it.
Yeah. And the suits come with a suit power, and that's all the suits do.
Yeah, that's it.
They don't.
Which still is a
just-
lot. I mean, I use
Choosing
expected
suits
more.
is not the leveling system. In
No,
I
this.
not
mean,
at
like you
all.
said, this
Think
is
that.
what they're banking on. I don't know. I mean, I'll play it tonight. So, well, it's 5 a.m, so I'll play it.
It's not. You guys are just adding hours here. It's 3:30.
it's 6 in the morning now.
It's now 8:30, and we're on our way to work.
Yep.
So if
It's 4 o'clock.
this is any indication of what all 4 of these games are going to be, Sony's going to have a fantastic year.
I
Still
agree.
I can roll my eyes harder than this.
You
Wow.
can do
I
as
can see my
whatever
brain.
you want to do.
I mean,
uh,
Ghost of Tsushima.
So
would be
this
great regardless.
not
Spider-Man
even
discussion
2019.
that
Yeah.
we're going to have is completely
Neither is Death Stranding.
Wait,
story
is Death Stranding
spoiler
part of your big
free.
4?
Yes.
That's part of their big 4.
Oh my
It's not
God,
part of
it's not gonna be
mine.
out till 2020.
None of them
That's
are.
their big 4. That's all they
literally a
show
walking
This is the- This is
simulator.
the only one.
at
this is,
E3 this year.
is
Did
the
you
one
forget?
coming out.
No, I remember. I just if that's their big 4,
He
they
means
got
'cause
that
2019.
is
What do you
a
mean,
long
if?
span of time.
What did you watch?
They're banking
He's saying
on for
because
this.
they're not coming out in 2019.
This is just that's
They
so
are.
long.
No, they're not.
Ghost of Tsushima is a 2020 next gen title. I don't care the way that game, unless it's a massive graphical downhaul in the final product,
It won't be.
it's gonna
Which is
be
why
a
it's
next
2020.
gen.
Nope.
You said this in our last podcast.
And I'm changing my mind.
Changing his mind back, but I disagree heavily.
April.
I don't.
April 2019.
This is a PS5
Stop it.
title.
They're going to do the same thing God of War did.
They're not.
They're going to announce it, the release date in February, launch it in April, and sell 3 million copies in 3 days.
They'll definitely sell 3 million copies when it
They're gonna do the
releases
same
in
thing.
2020.
It's coming out next year.
Wait,
Everybody said God of War was going to come out 2019, 2020.
Who?
There it came out April
Who
of
said that?
2018.
No one in this circle said
I'm
that.
telling you that. Well, even if so Ghost does, I'll give you that. Death Stranding is not. Death Stranding is a 2020 game.
I don't even know if Death Stranding is a game.
Correct. Exactly what I'm
It's
saying.
actually a movie.
It's a walking simulator, and
It's a
it's
movie.
not coming out.
Guys,
turns
let's
out-
be realistic. It's actually just a movie. It's a movie, and you're actually put on the VR headset and just watch this guy walk around.
And you play the game.
Delivering packages.
that could be accurate because we don't know anything. So
Kojima doesn't. It's a surprise every time.
You
So
put the VR
Who
headset
knows?
on and you control it through Android and iOS.
all of these things could be accurate because that's more than we know.
I don't know, but by next podcast, I'll have this game beaten. I'll give you my full opinion then.
We'll
So
we'll
far,
bring
I
him
haven't
on.
been
63
impressed.
hours this week. He thinks he will beat
He'll
it
do
in
it.
one day.
He'll do it. I believe in him.
I bet you
Thanks.
won't.
So let's get on with the Spider-Man discussion. This is going to be spoiler-free details for you guys as far as story goes. If you don't want to know anything about Spider-Man, I suggest tuning in next week's episode because we're probably going to close the show out with this discussion. So you've been warned. Here we go. So this is a massive open-world Manhattan, New York City. Insomniac put great detail into creating New York City. What is there to do in this open world, boys? Well, you got the main story quests, you've got side missions, you have
Random.
exploration,
5 billion collectibles.
you have the backpack
Can you fix your
collectibles,
glasses at me, Jake?
you have exploring, finding NYPD radio towers. These act similar to how scout points in Assassin's Creed games work.
Sync points?
Sync points, yeah, sorry.
I got you.
Landmark points where you have to take photo examples, or the Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, City Hall, etc.
Meanwhile, during all these events that he's mentioning, a lot of the landmarks, backpacks, etc., all these little tiny events, you get to hear it through the quips of Spider-Man, him talking about these certain things,
It's Peter Parker.
adding more to the world.
He looks
Technically.
absolutely shredded on the cover. of
Spider-Man's
this.
just an alien.
He's huge in this
Yeah,
game.
but,
just an alter ego.
but he
His
wears,
real name's Peter.
when he's in the mask,
He's
it's
still
Spider-Man.
Peter. No, he's Peter Parker.
that's not how that works.
It is how
Minor
it works.
spoiler here.
Peter
also-
Parker is Spider-Man.
No, not that. You also
Just
have
remembering.
Osborne
Just
Research
ruined so
Hub
many
missions
childhoods.
to do. Those open up a little bit into the game, and these are actual full missions that you go on. So far, I've done 2 or 3 of those, and they're okay.
Those-
they're
do
not my
those end in
favorite
suits?
things.
They're okay.
No,
but if
those you
complete
get
them all, they might give you
research tokens or points
Oh,
for.
okay.
They're all right. If I have a low point of this game, they're probably one of them because
Oh, they get fun. Like, there's a lot of them that are pretty awesome.
yeah. All right, maybe I just
Jake,
haven't.
how much
progressed
have
through
you
it.
completed
You've
in
only
this
done
game?
2 or 3, you said?
I've done 2 or 3.
How much have I completed?
Yeah, percentage-wise, where are you?
57%.
How many hours do you have in this game?
I'm going to say around about 16.
Yeah,
That's
60.
all-
That's
Also-
almost
So I said-
exactly what they said was
Duels.
30 hours.
So about 30
My
hours.
hopes.
But you got to understand, like, I'm doing it different than...
I don't understand anything.
He's going to make you understand.
I'm doing it different than most of the people who are probably going to be playing this game.
No, Jake, you do it like I'm going to do it. Systematically. Destroy everything you see.
Exactly.
Finish everything you
That's
come across.
pretty much what
That's
I-
how you do open world games.
Anyways, so...
In friendly
a
neighborhood
lot of the
Spider-Man
times when it
difficulty, by the way.
yeah, wholesome friendly
Yeah.
neighborhood Spider-Man,
Not
who
spectacular.
cannot
like
swear he is a gentle soul.
Okay.
He throws people off buildings.
Me. Other
He-
things.
Constantly.
Other things to do are the backpacks, which we already mentioned. These
Backpack
backpacks
kit.
are scattered throughout the city for you to find. When you do, you get to look at what's inside on its own screen in the collections tab. Each of these items has incredible detail, and they have full 3D models for you to enjoy. And they
Well-
look so good.
The backpacks also give you a tie-in to either like comic book events, story parts.
It's all Easter eggs, basically.
Yeah, basically they're
It's
parts of the.
all 55 of them are
Exactly.
Easter eggs.
How many collectibles total?
There's 55 backpacks. I
It's
don't
like
know
the
how many
feathers from Assassin's
landmarks.
Creed all
Hold on,
over
I'm doing the
again.
math right now. As many as I've. Oh, there's so many
You
collectibles.
really want that
Are
feather
they
cape?
marked?
Yes,
Yeah,
Oh, they're all
they're
marked.
marked. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
as you go around
Feathers
getting
are not.
those,
If you bought a map.
Radio
at least
towers.
79 so far.
when you go get the radio towers, the map
It marks
gets
them.
colored in
Gotcha.
or revealed, and then
So it's exactly like Assassin's Creed.
yeah. They took that.
To be fair, Far Cry 3 did that.
Yeah,
as
Well,
well.
a lot of
very
games
early.
do it.
This
Well,
game
Assassin's Creed
This game
started
follows
I don't
the
know.
open
Far Cry
world
2
tropes that
did
you're
it
going to
too,
see
so
in
that
every
was
other
pretty
open
that.
world
It was
game.
before that, I think.
Yeah, well, Assassin's Creed didn't open the map that way, though. You synced
Yeah,
and you
it is.
saw it,
Yeah,
but I don't
and then
think
it
it was-
opens.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was open
because it's
before.
the animus was fuzzy,
So
and in this one it's
you're right.
radio waves. So
this
very
game
similar.
follows the exact tropes of any other open world game, though.
Pretty
It has
much, yeah.
a lot of the same things.
I like the word tropes.
I mean,
I
so
do and I don't. Some it depends on the context.
It's so far the storyline has been
Thank you
stellar.
for that.
The,
What?
It's late. Okay, I like
actually
tropes.
early.
Super early.
I like the tropes in this game, but I also dislike them because it's not
I just meant
new.
the word tropes. Literally the word tropes.
That's the thing I've seen with this game. There's nothing innovative. It's just the
Oh
same.
no, you're wrong there, man.
I-
Because the innovation is
the Iron Spider was pretty sick.
the innovation
100%
is
right. That's
the
best part.
open world
Of what we've
traversal plus combat mechanics put
Batman.
together.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 did
Traversal
not
looks
feel
the
like this.
same.
No, you're insane.
and the
It
combat's
looks the
Batman.
same. And
And
yeah,
the combat, is not
Arkham.
Batman at all.
100%
It's
Batman.
same.
No, it is not.
You get the little warning, you counter it with a button.
And that's where the comparisons stop.
Yes, but it's the same system.
I don't know.
Not
it's very
even close.
The
Parkour-based.
parkour and the fighting is much better.
I mean, those are the only things
The
that has
bullets look impossible to dodge.
They're not.
No.
That was so
They're
frustrating
easy.
for me watching you get
So-
shot.
I was playing on Spectacular.
So what
he
he's-
as bulletproof.
So combat orientation, there are a lot of things.
We'll talk
that-
about combat in a minute.
He
We need
doesn't
to get
wanna
through
talk about
this
that right
list.
now.
You're trying to jump around all the time.
This is his game. Just
Like
shut up and let it
Spider-Man?
happen. Good one.
Kill yourself.
just haven't.
Wow,
He said KYS.
got really dark there.
So as you go
This
around
is the
restoring,
toxicity in gaming we're trying to get rid of.
Whatever question you're asking me is yes.
I just wanted to get finished of telling people what they can do in this open world before we get to the combat, which obviously is the most important point of this being Spider-Man. As you go around restoring these radio towers, you do get access
like
to the
low-rent
NYPD blotter, and you get to hear the dispatching of the calls out for the cops and everything through your suit because you're connected.
That's cool.
These crime moments or emergency moments happen endlessly, so never fear that your crime-stopping adventure is going to come to an end. Some
Variation on
examples,
these is pretty cool.
yeah, some of these, for examples, are to stop a burglary in progress or save citizens from a car crash or stop
Again
somebody
and again.
from getting mugged,
Endlessly.
etc. Yeah, but they switch
How
them
many
up
variations
because
do they have?
I don't know because I
If
haven't.
it's less than 30, I'm disgusted.
Honestly, but this is a thing. Like as the game progresses, as a person who can confirm this, these crimes change.
Yeah.
So instead of let's say going
Do they change based on where you are?
progression wise?
Progression wise,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
So it doesn't just happen where these guys are mugging they're in a store right now mugging people. You can
Can you
stop
save
down.
Uncle Ben?
You cannot save Uncle Ben.
So Kev's level 9, so he's doing burglaries and car accidents. You're level 25. Tell me what you're doing.
I'm stopping exploding giant trucks. Like I have to go and stop the truck by destroying everybody inside the truck. And then when the truck stops finally, where I stop it with my bare hands because I'm Spider-Man,
Shredded Spider-Man, by the way.
I have to
point that out
also
again.
get assaulted by these same
Those
people
lads.
because they've been chasing the truck that I've been trying to stop. And I have to defend myself against them. Well, I have to take the exploding device, the bomb, toss it in the air, and hope to God I stop it before it blows up a city block.
That sounds
Why don't
awesome.
You just swing up.
This
into
is the one.
sky
This is
and
actually what
throw
they
it.
showed us. This
Oh,
happened.
that's what we
That-
saw.
earlier.
So, well, from what I'm hearing, there's set scenarios per whatever progression level they see.
The thing
It
about
could be the burrow that you're in as well.
yes, the thing about what he didn't mention is that some of those set things add more things to it depending on the complications. Like
Right.
he went to go stop
Drug deal?
this car accident.
Oh, the car accident?
Yeah, he went to go save people, but all of a sudden thugs arrived at the same time to go apparently just murk somebody at the same time.
Yeah, so there was like two events happening at once there.
Yeah, I wondered about that because I was like, why are these thugs trying?
An
what are they
example
gonna
is
do about these cars?
I've stopped.
didn't
I've
care about
also
that.
stopped a car accident, but all of a sudden I'll proc another event where they say, "Hey, Spider-Man, so someone's driving erratically and they cause this car accident. You need to stop them before they cause more car accidents." So these events tie into some certain other events depending on where you're at. they're not quite cut and dry, and some of them are more complicated as it continues.
I will tell you the favorite event that I've come across so far, and this was the moment where I was like, holy shit, you're Spider-Man. This is what happens in movies. I was sitting there experimenting with photo mode because photo mode was put in as a day one patch.
Right.
Confirmed in
And-
Cyberpunk, by the way.
Photo mode is in this game. It's really, really cool. So I was experimenting with that, and then something came up on the blotter, which I tend to ignore for some reason, as you saw a little while ago when I was
did,
playing.
yes. I will be doing the same thing.
But
I don't.
I
care.
saw the icon, and the icon was moving, and I was like, well, what the shit? So it's moving. So I started swinging around the city, and I was going towards it. It was heading, we'll just say north, for example, and now I'm swinging north, trying to catch up to it. And what I saw was 2 cop cars and a car. It was a chase. And I swung in, just like in the movie, landed on that car, and
punched through the windshield and pulled him out.
no, the dudes started like pulling their guns out, and I had to dodge the bullets, and then I grabbed the arm and I just flung them out of the window and webbed them to a
He died.
building.
Oh,
Nope, webbed them to a building.
Sad.
It's safety.
He
I mean, to
first.
be
smashed his
fair,
head into the brick wall.
If
and
anybody-
died
At 100
immediately.
If
miles an
anybody's
hour.
watched Spider-Man, what was it, 3 or
Yeah.
Spider-Man, whichever, he snapped somebody's back. So I mean, there's a possibility
Things-
depending on the
things can
speed that
happen.
you're going.
3 since he had the
But,
symbiote at that point. My God, they need to put those in this.
But
game.
that was just like a magical cinematic moment that was unscripted. Just
It happens.
I
Kinda
didn't have to do that. They could have just went by, and I could have just been sitting there
so
and
Spider-Man
swung
2.
in the other direction. So
The game,
it was just so good.
honestly, with the way that they brought like Spider-Man to life, it's like I'm playing a comic book.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of all that. And what I like about it is that you see a personality and you see parts of him as he continues the story. And I also like that, like during certain scenes, if you do it right, there are some pretty nice parts. Like the fast traveling is one of my favorite parts, actually. When I fast travel from place to place, you can see him just sitting on one of the trains, and he's just texting on his phone.
in the subway.
Like there's a whole bunch of different ones too. There's different variations. One where he's sitting next to somebody playing a boombox and he's just jamming whatever boombox. That's the word.
My
Boot box.
question is,
Bootbox.
why in the hell are you fast traveling when you're Spider-Man?
Because
these were pretty
You can
cool.
go
I'm not gonna lie to you.
2000.
Hey, Kevin.
the answer to your question is
Jake wants to get shit done. That's why he's 57%.
the answer
No,
to
but
your
you-
question is I've literally collected everything. So the reason for me to travel from point A to point B is usually so I can collect something as fast as I can that just popped up.
Yeah, but when the icon says 2,000 meters, you can swing there in like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not. I mean it depends on.
Well, then you suck at traversal because I can get there in 10 seconds.
First of all, if you want to challenge me any
He's
day,
moving
Sonny, we'll go.
200 meters per second is what he's telling you right now. He's zooming. He is zooming.
Breakneck speed.
Let's get into the combat. So, yes, it is heavily drawn from the Arkham games,
Wait,
but it's fine-tuned
also
enough
Spider-Man 2.
so that it stands on its own.
If you
Like-
played Spider-Man 2 right now, it would look like absolute
It was
garbage.
so-
I
I'm
need you to
telling
stop
you,
it
if
saying
I
that.
played
so
Spider-Man 2 right now, I'd be like, wow. I'm not playing the
will
new Spider-Man.
never play Spider-Man 2 if he
So-
saw it.
Oh
Back
my
to
God.
the combat is so
This
smooth
is
and
in
it has the
4K.
same
You
similar
keep
the
bringing up
similar
Spider-Man 2.
the similar
I'm just
effects
saying.
and combat of what like Batman has to offer. However, there are big differences.
Huge.
One
Well,
of
yeah,
the
you're
big ones.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah,
sense.
It's a
you're
big
Spider-Man.
difference.
You
Well,
can web people.
one of the ones is basically
You don't
that,
have
is
batarangs.
you can web people and you can use that webbing to your advantage in certain scenarios. Like if somebody's attacking you, I can just shoot them with web, and then they can't attack me anymore, and then I can grab them and spin them around and hit them with other people.
You
I can
really,
hit another
you
motherfucker
really,
with another motherfucker.
Yeah, you can. You really feel like Spider-Man in this. You didn't feel like Batman in the Arkham games.
was
Honestly,
that?
when I saw it, the only thing that I could think is this is what video games are meant to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel like you are this character.
Yeah, you
And
definitely
No, you
feel.
definitely
and
do.
You feel
You
like
definitely
you
do.
are Spider-Man.
They
100%.
spent they
I feel like
spent
that's
so
what
much
made
time.
The Arkham games so good as well.
And his quips
So
are just
really
on
well-
point.
well, this
They
is
did,
like
but
the best hero game
that
since
Batman
Arkham, so.
that Batman combat was not Batman. Batman did not move that fast. He did not fight like that. He
Game
didn't
got 10 out of 10. So.
when he well, which one? Because
The
not
first.
all of them did. The last one
City, I
is
think,
a
is what
pile
I
of
can
crap.
have.
Yikes.
And
Arkham City's also the only one I ever played. So
the last one was what?
Arkham Knight.
Not good at all.
He didn't want the name. He wanted what it was. Not good.
That's what I was looking for there. I'm glad you got it.
Yeah.
But this,
Had
you
Jason Todd
really,
in it.
really,
Couldn't have been so
they
bad.
they nailed the mechanics of feeling like Spider-Man. And when you're fighting, like in Batman, when you're fighting, yes, that meter is similar, but this one it actually makes sense because it's Spidey sense. In Batman, it was just a counter meter. And
Well, you're Batman.
yeah, you're Batman and you were blocking attacks and then doing counters. This one, you don't block any attacks. You move around like Spider-Man does. And when Batman swoops in, he swoops in and he hits the whole mob. When Spider-Man swoops in, he hits one target only. And then he jumps around to each and every other target, very much like Spider-Man would. And the aerial combats, plus the webs, plus
I'm
the
honestly gonna
gadgets.
tell you that this is more of a movie than any of the Spider-Man movies have been to this point.
Do not hit
Uh,
on Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Spider-Man
Tobey Maguire
2
was terrible.
is one of my favorite movies
Oh, high
of all
five.
time.
Spider-Man 2 is
this
really good.
literally
Spider-Man
when you're
1 was a
playing
really
this,
good movie.
It looks more. Stop.
So
It looks,
Spider-Man
you
3
look
was
like
God
you're-
Wait, hold on.
He was
I want to hear him
dancing.
out. I want to hear.
So
No,
that
no,
was
no,
bad,
don't do
Tobey
that.
Maguire.
No,
You
don't. That was
look-
bad.
You look like you're in a movie. It is
that was terrible.
literally what it is. Like
Poor
so.
guy.
Basically, it's so
Bad Topher
what's the word I
Grace
want?
too.
Cinematic?
Should've just stayed in that
well,
70s
cinematic,
show.
but
Filmic.
when you're inside it,
Filmic.
it's 4 a.m. What is the word? It pulls
Immersive?
You in. Immersive. There.
Oh,
it is.
immersive.
I word. I knew it was. It's so immersive that literally when you come in, like you flew up on that rooftop to bust up a drug deal,
Yep.
and then you do like
Was
those
it a
slow mo
drug deal?
things, and
Yeah, on the rooftop it was a drug deal.
so just the way that it goes into the slow motion and all of the cinematic effects that they put into the fighting, it literally feels like a movie.
Yeah, it does.
And
It's
it
very
probably
cinematic.
helped that I was sitting there and watching it like a
Yeah.
movie. But
Well, you're seeing it, but when you're playing it, you're feeling it.
right,
And to be able to feel like that when you're playing it, that's quite a technical achievement by Insomniac Games. So, for example, of some combat, I'm just going to say something that actually happened, and this is, in essence, how the combat works in this game. You can do a combo on a guy, knock him out, combat the next guy, pop him up in the air, jump up and do an air combo, web to another location, web strike down on the next enemy, use your web shots, gadgets, and everything on the next people, and continue that on until the entire mob is gone. And you just...
it's
there
fluid.
are so many different varieties of what I just said,
Yes.
and it's all fluid.
Because when he was talking about
never
that,
hiccups.
I was literally saying, "Well, that's not how I do it."
He was thinking of a different way, and you're going to think of
Jay
a different
gets
way.
punched in the face till he dies.
no, that's
how
what
he
we saw
does.
Kevin do. Actually,
no,
That is,
mine,
Spectac-
spectacular
God.
mode is not recommended.
mine is
I'll
mine
play on
is
friendly.
Those
Mine-
I'm
brutes
enjoying
are
myself.
spectacular.
mine is a special thing called web grenade, and I just say, "Oh, there's like a bunch of people," and I'm like, "Everyone's covered in web. Who knew?"
You should stop playing unfriendly immediately. You're
no,
First of all, I play
much
on
fun.
amazing
That's
because that's
Nobody
what I am.
believes
nobody
that.
believes you. I
Wow.
wouldn't do it either. So
I
I'm
hate
not.
all
I'm
of
not
you.
hurting.
I'm
that you
gonna
play
be
on
honest.
friendly.
I'm gonna play on.
He is friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
He collapsed. I don't know what happened to him.
Wholesome Spider-Man.
He just
I'm
had
gonna
a
play
stroke.
friendly.
I'm gonna play amazing because I want to experience the game.
Why are
as
you
is.
lying? You're not.
I'm playing it on like
I'm
okay.
considering playing the
Literally, I
entire
will play
game on
the
Spectacular.
Don't do
the
that.
recording that's all
hate your life.
shoddy just to prove it of the first 5 minutes that I played it, and you'll see me say,
The first 5
Amazing.
minutes, because that's the only time he was on Amazing.
So
and then-
this is a minor spoiler because if you know about the game, you already know the first boss of the game.
we already warned them.
Of the first boss.
No, about
No, just spoilers.
You told them to
I
stop
did.
listening if they
I
didn't
did
wanna
tell
hear
them,
anything.
right? They're no longer here. Well, anyway, the first boss of the game is
All five of
Wilson
you
Fisk, which is Kingpin,
Mhm.
and I've had it on Spectacular the entire time. And holy shit, that was a tough boss fight.
"Oh yeah, he's rough."
And so this is probably only the second time in a video game that I felt this way, where a boss felt this powerful. I'm
you
not
played
comparing them.
Any of the Dark Souls games?
No, that's different though. I guess I'm not wording it right, but it's where the character actually felt like how they're being properly represented. so I guess I wouldn't have anything to compare
So,
them
like,
to in Dark
Fisk.
Souls. So Fisk in like all the
Feels like,
movies,
say, the movies.
shows, comics,
He's a big brute.
he feels like
beast.
that in this, and they captured
He has
it.
a presence.
Really
perfectly.
understood Fisk. I mean, what? He's just a big guy. Why does Spider-Man struggle?
Well, he not only
He-
is he a big man, he has I think he has a bit of superhuman strength and
Yeah, he does.
some,
he does.
and he's a lot more
I mean,
agile.
Daredevil beats him. How superhuman can he be?
Daredevil is
Daredevil
also
is
superhuman.
superhuman.
Yeah,
He's not. He's blind and
No,
has super ears.
he has 100% superhuman speed and fight. And
He's not. He was trained by the hand or to fight the hand. and-
absolutely
yes.
disagree.
Yeah, in the show
He's
of
human.
Netflix,
Not at
it
all.
is that way.
He is
You
superhuman
know, the comic is all based around the
because
hand, too, and
radioactive
fighting it.
eyeballs, man. I don't know what happened.
Anyway, we're
That's what happened
way
to
off
his
topic.
eyes was radioactive goo.
Kingpin felt so good, and unfortunately, that is the only
A little
boss.
bit
How
that-
more
did you handle the
radioactive
Kingpin?
goo.
What?
Huh? You said Kingpin felt so good.
Oh, really? That's where you're going with that?
4 a.m. Can world. Can I take it?
My goodness. Trying to be a professional here.
Oh my god. Okay.
So-
let's go.
He took Kingpin's cane.
Oh my god. He's fired. He's caught.
This is turning into a podcast of one for the remainder of the show.
rest of us
TSGG
are
after
muted.
dark.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
So
let's,
Fisk
let's go
felt
down.
like Fisk.
Anyway, yeah, it felt like a really, really good boss fight.
Right.
And it was good representation. Just like what I was getting at is Insomniac did an incredible job of bringing these characters to life in this world.
Bringing a comic to life is what
So-
they did.
Yeah,
Very
they did.
well. Come back next week and tell you I love this game, or I could tell you I hate it. So
I
we'll
don't
see.
think you're going to say the latter.
I don't know, Kevin. I'm not impressed by what I've seen so far.
Very quickly, let's go through some of our positives and negatives of the game.
I'm
I
ready.
hate it.
So for me,
Ignore him.
my positive so far, I'll go first since he's played longer than I have.
Mhm.
The traversal and combat mechanics make you truly feel like Spider-Man. That's a total positive.
Very nice.
The when swinging throughout the city, there
Oh, he's
has to
taking
be
all the
something
positives.
there for you to latch onto,
That was a
Mhm.
big
Or you
thing
fall.
they talked about was the actual webs attaching to things because
unlike
the
Spider-Man
only
2, where you
comparable
could
game
just
was
web
Spider-Man 2 where
everywhere,
unless
where
you went over the
the
water,
webs went
your
into the
webs would
corners of the
just-
screen,
yes.
and you just it was swing around everywhere you want.
yes.
You're
So-
attaching to trees. There's
You
no
do
trees
attach
here.
to trees, and you fly and you swing lower, like
Super
when you're
low
in
to the
Central
ground.
Can you
Park.
like do
Right.
like horizontal around the tree?
Yeah, you can. So it's
We'll see.
what else? When the world itself is lush.
Jake, you
Literally
get no
taking all of
positives.
Go ahead. Give me. What did I do? I did 2.
Yes.
Give me 2.
No, we're gonna do one at a time, you jerk.
Oh, I already did 2, Jake. So
Oh,
give me
give
2.
them 2.
So not only is the combat and traversal amazing, but during the traversal, what you notice as you play the game, there is
are.
a lacking, like there is no music during the game when you're walking
Oh, this was
around.
cool. You're right.
But when you swing and when you're flying in the air, music starts to come in, and it gives you that very cinematic Spider-Man feel
does.
as you move around. And boy, is it absolutely gorgeous! Every single place is so engrossed in detail, like
How is the musical score in this?
Amazing.
Game?
It's fantastic. It's
Spectacular.
very much
They
Spider-Man.
wanted you to feel like a
Friendly,
movie.
even.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
the-
feel like a
it's what that
superhero.
is.
I'm gonna need you to calm down.
People that live in New York City are on Reddit and such telling people how accurate it is. It is very accurate.
yeah, except for the obvious parts that they included, like
No, like
Oscorp
people are
Spider-Man.
yeah, like they
and
include
Avengers,
things.
Oscorp,
People on the streets are nice.
Sanctum
People,
Sanctorum.
no, not that part. People are swinging around and locating their apartment buildings and taking photos of Spider-Man outside. So that's really cool.
That's dope.
These guys went to New York City, took photographs, recreated New York City. Another one for you.
I said music and pretty.
Oh, okay, so back to me. The
Graphically,
world
it's very nice.
is
Oh,
Well,
absolutely
very
stunning.
yeah. The world is very lush, and the colors are very beautiful.
Absolutely.
The
No gray.
nighttime city is fucking incredible
Uh-huh.
under a
Haven't gotten to see
moonlit
that
sky. I've been playing in 4K and it's just jaw dropping.
Same.
It's amazing.
The
You don't have 4K.
I know,
Your
but
turn.
I saw it.
your turn.
So the thing that I
Can
liked
say
about it,
anything?
No.
No.
You have no
How
one
do you have
play. You
positives?
haven't
You
played
didn't
the
play.
game.
I just want to see the suits.
I'm gonna just bring out some
The
negatives
suits are all
here
that
when they're
matter.
done with
That
their
is a
little
positive.
happy
You're right.
party.
what I liked also
Suits and
is that
gadgets.
the game doesn't leave you well at a moment of exploration in mind. So they keep you always wanting to continue going forward. Like, let's say you finish a quest and then all of a sudden you may have completed some of the parts of the world already, a part of Manhattan already. They're like, oh, well, guess what? Black Cat just came into town. Here you go. Or guess what?
I want something.
Harry Osborn's experimental labs kind of popped up. You might as well go help him out. They give you story parts so you
Wait, is
can
Black-
experience more of his
Is
world.
Black Cat in the game already?
Is she?
Don't think so. I thought Black Cat was
I
the
thought
first
she's DLC.
DLC.
Is she?
Well, her
she might
her
be hinted at.
her story is the
or
first DLC.
teased.
How hard
DLC.
have you been punched in the nose before?
Because you're gonna find out.
Okay, my next one. Cinematics are top-notch quality.
I agree.
You should have
The
seen the look on his face.
the mouth movements
looked like the clown
with the
from It.
dialogue is spot on, and characters' eyes are the most realistic I have ever seen in a video game. Nothing compares to this. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Not even
Let me talk about the gadgets.
What? Not even what?
Detroit.
No.
Eh,
This is better than Detroit's eyes.
I
How
don't-
about Cyberpunk?
He said just the
eyes?
I
eyes.
don't
You have
Just
to
the
focus
the
on
eyes.
So every the thing.
I guess Cyberpunk's not a finished project, so I'm gonna shut up about that.
that. You just wanted to bring up Cyberpunk.
Just love Cyberpunk.
I like.
What about Anthem? How about Anthem's eyes? Were they good enough?
Do they even have eyes?
No.
No, they have robo.
They don't even have
Optics. How do you like their optics? So one thing is when you travel around the city, even if you're walking, the city feels alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always people
Yeah,
greeting
there's
you.
people there, Jake.
But that's not the only point. Is that there are parts of the city that move around. For example,
Well-
a person could walk up to you and say, "Hey, something's happening right now. You need to go check it out."
Yeah, they will.
Well, Kev was walking earlier, and they said, "Oh my God, I've never been this close to Spider-Man." Like,
Yeah, they do
like
that
it's
too.
interactive.
Reactions.
Yeah, and you could
Well, you can
Spider-Man
actually get
2
a mission to do
had
from.
that as well.
You can actually get missions from some of the
Yep,
citizens.
They'll give you missions.
Spider-Man 2
Brennan,
had that in a small
it's in
scope.
4K.
I don't think Spider-Man 2 had as much as you think it had.
It did. It had the.
It didn't.
Like the citizens would run up and say, "Hey, there's a crime over there." You'd go in the alley and
One
stop
thing
it.
Spider-Man 2 did have was the returning cast of Spider-Man 2. In the film, they actually reprised their roles as the voice cast, so that really helped propel Spider-Man 2. Speaking of the voice
Such a good
cast,
game.
that is my next positive.
I knew that's why you.
The
brought
voice
it up.
cast is fantastic. Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man was the best
Sasuke.
choice. It was absolutely the best choice for Spider-Man. The entire cast is great. Their performances really give it that cinematic edge.
Jake, he
Sasuke?
sounds nothing like Sasuke.
He is
though.
Sasuke.
He is
It is
Sasuke,
Sasuke.
but he sounds
He's
nothing
been
like
over
I
a
can hear
1,000
it.
characters.
That is awesome.
He is a legend in
Sasuke's
the
my
voice
favorite character
over
in anime
industry.
In case you're wondering.
Jake, you got another one?
over.
Honestly, well, what we talked about, that's a lot. I mean, other than like
Over
as you
Itachi?
progress,
Ooh, that's tough.
meeting the villains and seeing some of the actual
Over
stories play
Kakashi?
out, it's amazing.
Easy, boys. We're on Spider-Man.
How
Kakashi was
how
really my favorite.
how
Itachi,
it just
though.
pulls me back into the comic books that I've read and been reading recently, and it just
He was
feels
literally
normal.
reading them during this podcast.
I-
Don't
He
let
probably
him lie.
is, yeah.
You
He
know,
still
I
reads it.
witnessed it.
I've
It was
literally
Venom
happening
suit Spider-Man is what I was
Listened
reading,
To him
So-
talk about Miles Morales, Spider-Man, for the last 6
who
days.
is also there.
All of the major characters look stunning in this game. And that's leading me into some of the negatives, which I have a few so far.
Have you, before you go into that, have you played Mary Jane Quest yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah, that's
Is
that
she
was-
as big a
that's
part as we
very-
were wondering
very
about,
early in the
or-
game.
Is that one of the negatives you're about to throw out at us?
No, actually, I
that was
enjoyed.
awesome.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, her mission that I played was a stealth mission, and it was very, very intense and very heavily story driven.
Right.
Because that was a story mission where you do that, and I found myself wanting to play that out. Not let's hurry up and get this over so I can be Spider-Man again.
Right.
I actually enjoyed it, so I'm assuming there's probably going to be more scenarios like that. But
That's
the way
good.
they set it up is not just you play as her. Like in this mission, you are Spider-Man, and then she comes into a room, and you're like, "What are you doing here?" And It's basically the introduction of her in the game, and so
That's filthy.
she tells you why she's there, and it does like 15 minutes ago, and then you play as her, leading up to that moment. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely listen to all those words.
Yeah. So all the major characters look stunning, villains and heroes alike. And this leads me to some of the negatives, which are some character models and motions are a little bit clunky. And you see a lot of the same character models that are being reused a lot for things like thugs, police, standard citizens on the streets. A lot of duplicates in this world.
I agree.
And my biggest problem with this game is there isn't a true day-night cycle. It seems so far that all of the cycles, either day or night or evening or rain
They revolve
or
around
clear,
your.
Question.
they all go with where you are currently in the story. What does that mean for post-game? I don't know if it turns into a full day-night cycle. We'll have to see when I get there. But for now, that's a negative.
So a nighttime city that I'm hearing all about, you
only get to enjoy that during that part of the quest.
2 or 3 story arcs, probably.
I'm just gonna bite my tongue off. There's no point in having it.
You don't need to have it right
Can't
now.
use it anywhere.
You look like you're dying, actually.
It's
The small parts of me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get home and play that and see if I like it or not.
I think you will. The opening
I think-
is
I
great.
think the only reason he doesn't like it is there's nothing that wowed him. There was nothing completely innovative
just-
that just
It's
blew him
because he
away.
hasn't felt being Spider-Man yet.
You
You can
haven't
say
been
that,
Spider-Man.
but I could care less. I have no real connection to Spider-Man. He's not my
That
No,
favorite
that's-
hero.
why.
If it was an Iron Man game, I'd be going fucking nuts.
No, that's the. I'm not
Swear to
saying
God,
it
Iron
from
Man
a
game is coming out.
fanboy perspective. I'm saying the feeling of
Oh,
the
it's
game
fanboy.
is
Don't lie to
no, it's not. The
yourself. Don't lie to
feeling
me.
is what you're.
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
definitely
That's
going
your
not a
favorite
fanboy.
hero. That's your favorite hero, and you get to
I
be
know
him.
it is,
definitely
but I'm
doesn't
saying
impact.
the
If I could
feeling
be
of
Iron
it.
Man, it would be different because he's the best.
No, I would love an Iron Man game, which is why I'm going to play Anthem.
Give me Extremis.
You're basically Iron Man.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my negatives. Did you have any
I'll
others?
use my Tony Stark
You're
voice
much
the
further
whole time
into the
we
game
play
than I
Anthem
am.
together,
So
just to make it all feel
the
better.
only thing that I noticed in the beginning of the game is that
I'll do my Pepper Potts voice.
because you can actually go into the water and swim out to the raft, or at least very close to it. But obviously, at a certain point,
Spiders
it'll-
don't swim.
Yeah, nigh that swimming is also the worst part of the game.
Water
Spiders
spiders.
If you guys haven't, if you
Whoops.
haven't actually went into the water yet, swimming is absolutely horrendous.
Technically,
like
they don't
It is
swim,
horrendous.
they
I've been in
walk.
the
once you
water.
jump in there,
Water.
your sweater just kind of just
You don't swim. You wade through the water.
yeah, he just kind of just
And that's it.
slowly.
Like it.
It is so
that's the
slow
only
in
that's the only
comparison.
mechanic there is. So it's best to jump up and try to catch something and,
And swing as far as
Yeah.
you can.
Yes. So like literally, and boats go by. So I'm hoping like all I really want to do is when a boat comes by, I'm like, I need you just so I can swim
Can you
back.
just
to,
kind of
swing back
in
to shore.
front of the boat so it hits you and drags you with it?
Yeah, maybe.
no, you can actually
Or does
launch
that
yourself
kill
into
you?
the water, and then once you launch yourself in, you can like slingshot yourself forward with your web, so you can just kind of slingshot back.
So some other good superhero games that have come out. Here's just a small list for you guys. If you're in the
Spider-Man 2.
superhero game mode,
Ultimate
best.
Alliance.
DC Universe Online is an MMO
That ain't bad.
worth playing for anybody who hasn't. Infamous series,
Also good.
definitely worth checking out. Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 2,
All right.
And Marvel's
definitely
Ultimate
worth
Alliance
checking
first
out.
one.
Ultimate Alliance
The one
2,
with
just go
Ghost
to.
Rider in it and Mephisto.
Yeah, it's got them all in too. Spider-Man
Yeah, I played that
2,
when I was young.
definitely worth checking out. And
The
check
Ghost
out
Rider game. If
Rocksteady's
you've never played the
Arkham
Ghost Rider
series.
game, that's a game worth playing.
I heard good things about that Deadpool game too, but I never played that one.
It was all right.
That was okay.
Well, guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's featured
Late night
articles,
podcast.
late night podcast, whatever you.
I apologize for everything I said.
I apologize for the show. But that's all the time we have
Thanks
for
for
this
listening,
week.
though.
I want to thank you all for listening and also want to thank you guys for being here on the panel for some reason. And don't forget, you can find us at tsgg.online, Twitter, and YouTube at youtube.com/the society.
See y'all next time.
Patreon.com/TSGG is where you can help us continue to make better content. But why would you after listening to this episode? Check out our levels and subscribe if you can. If you can't, that's
Honestly,
all right
why
too.
wouldn't you after
I need you
listening
to go
this
back and listen to
episode?
last week's after this because that was a good one.
Where I wasn't there.
You only have to
That's
wait
what
a
it was, a good
handful
one.
of days.
Weird correlation there, Jake. Weird correlation.
That's our show, everybody.
My spider sense is
Have a great
tingling.
week.
See y'all next time.
See you next
Have a
time.
great time.